Several months have passed, and the invasion of the Baltic states is nearing its completion. Our ground forces have taken Lithuania and are getting ready at the border to support the naval invasion of Latvia. The subsequent invasion on two different places has thrown the Soviet troops into further disarray, and we have concentrated the largest group of ships that the Baltics has ever seen, and we have bombarded the port of Riga to the point that it is in ashes. The troops have tried landing on the beaches, but still the Soviets are fighting from the ruins and providing stiff resistance to the troops trying to land, while we're waiting for the army to get into gear and start marching north after the conquest and securing of Lithuania. At the same time, the Netherlands have managed to create enough trouble that our political leaders have decided that naval action is required to prevent any kind of intervention while we are marching towards the Netherlands. So once the operations in Riga are complete, the fleet will move out of the Baltics into the North Sea and support the invasion of Amsterdam. With support from the army on the ground and due to the heavy shelling from our naval forces, German troops have landed on the beaches, have managed to take Riga and wrestled the control of Latvia from the Soviet enemy. This means our troops are now standing on the border of Russia, and the army has instantly launched an additional assault into Belarus. We will now withdraw the High Seas Fleet from the Baltic and head over to the North Sea, where we are going to support the conquest of the Netherlands. This has more than one reason. So while our assault into France is still ongoing, the British have decided to declare war on China, and probably due to their possessions here, and out of greed for resources. This has brought them into conflict with us and the Americans. So as it stands, we are now once again at war with the United Kingdom, and hopefully we can finish the campaign in the east soon, because it looks like Spain might be stirring as well. For now, the High Seas Fleet is going to move into the North Sea to deter any kind of British intervention in our conquest of the Netherlands, while the troops in the east are attempting to finish off Belarus and hopefully force the Soviets into accepting a peace treaty. Austria-Hungary has claimed Ukraine, has managed to overrun Montenegro, and is currently pushing into the Central Balkans, trying to gain control from the Ottoman possessions in this area. We are still losing transports along the coastline of Africa, although the Americans are sending some forces here now as well. And our fight in the colonies is ongoing against French resistance in various areas here. German troops are advancing all over the ground. With the setting sun, a patrol group of 6 brand new X-class destroyers have found some Soviet shipping off the coast of Finland and are planning to take on whatever convoy or escort might be there. If the enemy turns out to be too strong, we can always withdraw. But these are gunboat destroyers, and they will bring quite some firepower, and we will see how well they will fare against that Soviet convoy. The first group of destroyers has made contact, and it turns out that this Soviet destroyer, I think it's a Soviet destroyer, was very sneaky and has managed to get close to us before we even noticed. So we've got some torpedoes away. We have a second group of destroyers, but yeah, I don't think that's going to hit. We've got a second group of destroyers on the other side, and we've barely managed to see that Soviet destroyer before we were spotted ourselves, and we've basically stumbled upon each other here completely. So we will get one group to turn, and we'll get the other group of destroyers to close in, hold the torpedoes so we don't torpedo ourselves here, and Oh, another torpedo incoming. I'm not sure if we can avoid that one. I thought she already fired. It looks like she's got another launcher. Okay, just straighten it out. We might be able to outrun it. Yes, that would be a positive. So we have outrun that torpedo. However, I do need to detach this destroyer and make sure she is sailing straight and threading the needle here. Ooh, that surprised me a little. I did not see that one coming. And we'll detach this one as well. So she needs to... Oh, that might have been a little late. I might have left it a little late there. Can she skirt that torpedo? Okay, it was a dud. We got lucky there. Yeah, sorry, that caused me a little bit of confusion here. So let's get these 3 destroyers back into formation. And also get you to stop sending torpedoes until we have confirmation of where the enemy actually is. So the X-34 is now taking the lead on this side, and the other line is coming in, but we don't have a visual just yet. There is supposed to be another ship out there besides the transports, but we've almost torpedoed ourselves here in the confusion. So definitely do need to be somewhat careful here. Let's get in and see that we can reacquire the destroyer. I'm not sure if we've really seen the X-class in action as gunboats. We've seen some work from that the X's have been doing, but against an enemy destroyer, he is obviously vastly outnumbered. The biggest threat is our own torpedoes. So, sheesh, that was close. A little chaos there. And I think we managed to torpedo one of our own, honestly. I think somebody took some damage. No. I do have a record here that somebody took damage, but I'm not sure who it was. I don't really seem to have any damaged ships. So, okay, there he is. There's the enemy destroyer. So let's get this line of ships into position and aggressively launch torpedoes as soon as you can. So just basically do a drive-by, which means that these destroyers already have to turn, so they don't get accidentally affected. This might be too close even to launch torpedoes. I'm not sure. I think we are too close to launch torpedoes. Okay, so, don't launch any torpedoes. Just use the guns. And while these destroyers here are coming in to help, yeah, these Soviets are crazy. Ivan, anybody? Okay, this destroyer can be detached, and let's see if she can launch her torpedoes. Because she's going to pass right by at point blank range, might be able to get the torpedoes away if it's not too close. It's a very stealthy Soviet destroyer. I don't think she got torpedoes away. Okay, let's leave the torpedoes out for now. And let's just give chase with this line of destroyers, and these guys need to turn around. And we'll finish her off with the guns. But my gosh, that Soviet destroyer has been more than a handful for that group. Second group is coming in, and their accuracy is terrible, and that's mostly due to well, we can't really see very well. That's pretty much the majority of the problem. Oops, we have, I believe, spotted a cruiser. Smoke up, line up, and drop torpedoes on that cruiser if we can, while the second group is chasing after the destroyer and is trying to finish her off. Have you launched your torpedoes? Okay, there are some torpedoes incoming from the cruiser, but I think we're already on the turn. So see if you can... X-30 doesn't have torpedoes ready, X-32 doesn't have ready, and X-39 doesn't have torpedoes ready either. Okay, let's get this battle group disengaged then and focusing on the destroyer. And the second battle group also does not actually have torpedoes ready. Okay, so we've launched our torpedoes pretty much everywhere. Let's see if we can finish off the destroyer first, and then we will try to go for the cruiser. And I'd like to finish this off as quickly as possible. While, okay, these guys can target, okay, start targeting the cruiser and drop torpedoes if you can, if you have a chance. And the second group is going to turn and is going to try and finish off that destroyer. Well, that Soviet group was aggressive for certain, and fighting in the evening has the distinct disadvantage that you can't see what you're shooting at. And yeah, the maneuvering doesn't help. Nobody's really able to hit anything. But this group cannot fire torpedoes because they'll hit our friendly ships. The X-39 might have torpedoes ready by the time she gets into the turn. The destroyer group in the south here needs to kind of turn around. These destroyers just go in a straight line. And I think we can gun her down, but that was surprising. Light cruiser is surprising. Okay, don't drop speed. And I think at this range we should be able to... Yes, there we go. Now we're starting to land shots. These destroyers have some secondaries with the 51mm secondaries. And they should be able to hopefully finish her up. Which means we're already going to get the other group to turn around. And X-39 is almost reloaded, so she can drop her torpedoes at the... okay. The destroyer has actually surrendered. That's not something I see very often. So let's get the second group turned around as well then. First group turn around. Has X-39 launched? Yes, she has launched her torpedoes. And we will see if that torpedo spread is going to hit anything. It's a light cruiser, so it's generally reasonably maneuverable, but she is already burning quite frantically. It's not a great angle, so we'll see if we actually get any impact on the torpedoes. I'll switch off the torpedoes again. I do not want to... Oh, she might be able to thread the needle there. Yeah, I think she's going to be able to avoid them. No, I think we've got a torpedo hit. I think one torpedo managed to hit her. She has managed to avoid the rest of them, but the destroyers are now closing in. And the second group is coming in as well. So they can share the smoke screen. And hopefully we can finish her off with the guns. Obviously, light cruisers are not something you need to... You want to trifle with too much, but we'll get closer. We'll see if we can reacquire the target. Second group is following at a slightly longer distance, while the first group is charging in. And X-30 has almost got her torpedoes reloaded. So once we respot that cruiser, then we can do something about it. Yes, we have managed to land a torpedo hit on the aft belt. Has done some damage, so that definitely was worth it. Okay, there she is. Where is she sailing? She seems stationary, so first group, torpedoes away. First group, torpedoes away. Second group, turn. First group doesn't have smoke ready, but hopefully... I'm not sure if the what is this? It's the Aurora. I'm not sure if the Aurora has her own torpedoes. She might have, so we definitely want to be careful. And obviously guns, but the sheer amount of rapid fire. Yep, there come the torpedoes. Okay, we can avoid these without too much trouble. And we are taking return fire now, but hopefully no, our own torpedoes I think are missing. But she might be going down to fires reasonably soon. If we can just keep hitting her. Oh no, there's another torpedo spread that we've sent out. X-30 has taken a hit to the rudder, which is less than ideal, but these torpedoes may hit. Yep, that's another torpedo hit in the bow, and I think that light cruiser is done for under the vicious fire of that destroyer group. Yep, she's burning and she is sinking. Okay, so without besides X-30 having taken slight damage, the question now remains. Yeah, the Aurora has sunk due to fires. The question now remains: where are the transports that they've been guarding? So let's find those. And we have engaged the enemy transport convoy. I don't know how many there are. It's difficult to see in the darkness, but they are very much not standing a chance. I think so far I've spotted 2. There's 2 of them. So yeah, no chance to get out of that one. And that should be another cleanup victory for the German Navy in the Baltic. In the end, a Soviet light cruiser, a Soviet destroyer, and 3 transport ships have been sunk. One of them has managed to escape into the night, and with the break of darkness, the destroyers have abandoned the raid and returned to their stations. With the High Seas Fleet en route to the North Sea, it will be up to the light forces to keep any kind of resurgent Soviet activity in the Baltics in check, dealing with enemy transport shipping and supporting the army with light shore bombardment where needed, while we are proceeding to invade Belarus and getting towards the border of Russia.